light to go into that hole, and with your eye, you will see the image of the sun when you...
Hey guys, it's Matt. If you're driving or doing something else, you don't need to see these images. There's not a lot of them, and I'll walk you through whatever we're looking at. What you're looking at now, though, is not what the video's about coming up in a few minutes, but I couldn't wait in terms of making this breaking announcement. I want to announce to everybody that as of this moment, I've actually seen Matt Damon's incredible epic, The Great Wall. I've seen the movie, The Great Wall with Matt Damon, and I only lost 40% of my IQ when the movie finished. I went to get a bowl of ice cream. I couldn't even put the spoon to my mouth. I didn't panic. I got a good night's sleep. I do believe my IQ has been restored as of this moment, but it was a close call. Now, as you do, I look forward to making fun of this movie as soon as we possibly can get to it. What this video is about is how Plato's Allegory of the Cave, in this weird reality with its fractal connections, relates to viewing the eclipse, in my opinion. Who knows? We'll explore this. It just hit me. I'm like, I've got to make a video about this. I think that absolutely you guys will see a link here, as I do, as to the way this reality does business. Plato's Allegory of the Cave related to a shadow box, or those cheap-ass viewers you use to be able to view an eclipse on the back wall of the thing you make. So for the one guy that's stowed away with Matt Damon to Mars that doesn't know what you're looking at or doesn't know Plato's Allegory of the Cave, you know, the old legend, the prisoners are on the right are viewing these images cast on the cave wall. They believe that's reality, but the images are created by people making shapes and figures in front of a fire, which cast the image. The prisoners thinks what's going on the wall is reality and have no idea that a whole complete and separate reality exists. Basically the exact same situation everybody down your cul-de-sac is in today. Okay, Greg and I have talked several times since the first great American eclipse as to how these pinhole camera, shoebox, cereal box viewers actually work. We'll get to that. You know, it's not as simple as somebody screaming out to me, "It's a pinhole camera." Yeah, I know. But how it projects the image is, Greg's an engineer. We don't quite understand this. We'll get to that hopefully later. But for now, it just kind of hit me. We're getting, you know, there have been other solar eclipses, I guess, parts of the world where, you know, recently that, of course, I can't see here from Philadelphia. The whole world revolves around Philadelphia, New York, and Los Angeles. I couldn't see it. But the other big one for the U.S. is coming April of 2024. So as we get closer, it'll all come again, how to make these viewers, the cereal box viewer, the pinhole camera viewer for the shoebox. And I'm looking at this and going, that's Plato's Allegory of the Cave. We're looking at a projection on the back wall. They're getting hundreds of millions of people to act out Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Now, I know somebody's screaming out right now. I can hear you screaming out in the night. That's the only way to safely view the eclipse, Matt, you bozo. Okay, I know. I hear you if you don't have $400 glasses, but it is what it is. People are actually doing Plato's Allegory of the Cave when they're making these viewers. Now, you know what I'm going to say? I'll give you 3 guesses, but you're only going to need 1. Do I believe, as after all that I've seen and all that, quote, we've been through, do I believe this is a coincidence? The way Christoph's fractal reality does business, do I believe this is a coincidence? No, I don't. I don't believe it's a coincidence that we are acting out, literally, Plato's Allegory of the Cave, looking at a projection of reality on a back wall while viewing the most important thing that ever told a human being what reality is or is not, the eclipse. Now, if you're about to laugh at my theory that I just proposed, I'd hope you laugh at this instead. It's a picture of Matt Damon defending the Great Wall. If I could find the laugh track on my new Mac, I would put it in here. I just don't know where the damn thing is yet. I don't know my Mac yet. Okay, this is just showing a picture of the one of the great American eclipses, or one of, I guess it couldn't show the second one yet because it hasn't happened, 2017. For anybody that thinks I'm crazy that hasn't been with this channel for a long time, I understand what I just put forth is, quote, a little out there. I'm not gonna, if it was a roulette table in front of me, I wouldn't push all my chips. Yeah, I'm all in on this one number, the number that says there is a 100% relationship between Plato's Allegory of the Cave and the way people make these shoebox viewers of the eclipse. All it is, I'm not going to push all my chips there. I'm not crazy, but if you do this long enough, you get a sense of, I say it the same way, how the whole reality itself does business or works, or sniffing out that, oh, this is a hiccup in the matrix, or this is how the matrix works, or how the matrix reality presents itself, or Christoph's fractal connections. You start to sniff it out, and that's what happened here. That doesn't mean I'm completely confident I'm going to push all my chips and say I'm 100% sure when people make 2-cent piece of shit shoebox viewers of the eclipse that this is the masters of reality seeing to it, that people are acting out Plato's Allegory of the Cave. But I know the people listening to this. I was corrected. They don't shake their heads. If they're in agreement, they would. I can see you nodding your head. Not that you're all in either, but that this is generally how the reality might do business. Even though you can't, supposedly look at it directly with your eyes, it'll fry your eyeballs out like Dr. Weir at the end of Event Horizon, where we're going. Captain Miller, you won't, or we won't need eyes. He laughed or something. Anyway, you can just kind of sniff it. Like, all these people, like, they get the damn cardboard shoebox. Does it still smell? I mean, it's new shoes up to their eyes, and they're looking at the projection. God forbid they find a way to, well, I'm not saying to look at it directly. I've never tried, but as far as I know, the advice is correct, that it will fry your eyes. So, but it just doesn't seem to be a coincidence, because see, the eclipse here is the most important symbol that reality has ever put forth to tell a human being, what the heck's going on. Again, guys, if you're driving, I'm just showing these eclipse images. This one shows, the map, one eclipse, the one in 2024, the line goes up, and the one in 2017 came down. It forms that X, marks the spot over, what is that, someplace in Ohio or something that's going to get totality for both eclipses. X marks the spot over the United States. Crisscross will make you jump, crisscross of the map of the eclipses over the United States. A Daddy Mac will make you jump. What is he saying? Are you saying crisscross, the little rappers from the late 80s, was some sort of musical allusion to the great American eclipses that would be roughly 30 years later, where they're going to try to fake or manufacture an artificial tribulation? Oh, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there, even though crisscross will make you jump. I'm not going to go there, but they did have their pants and stuff on backwards, which to me is like a sign of the inversion. But I'm not, if I went there like 100%, you should turn this off. I don't think so. But, the pants on backwards, I don't know. There's something a little strange about that. It's wiggity whack. But anyway, guys, the ancient man and woman had it right. See, the eclipse came while they were in the field, and everything got dark, and the crickets started chirping, and they attributed it to what they should attribute it to. Signs, wonders, something from God, from their gods, something that reminds man and woman that this place isn't very real. There's a whole lot more going on. And of course, it's completely natural to assign it to gods and goddesses. And so, but of course, that gets man thinking about spiritual self, and gets man and woman thinking about big things. And science and the minions of science and the minions of this reality and the not nilk and the screen, they can't have that. They can't have that. They can't have people thinking that they're actually, a part of them is not here. Of course, everything that's important to a human being, of course, according to the not nilk minions, everything you ever are is, of course, of this world. You must root to it and attach to it. So science then has to come up with a really great explanation for such a sign and wonder. Oh, you guys, it's just a rock. So it's a big cat litter box, the moon, that guys landed on in '69. One was a buzzed cauldron, empty six-pack of Blaps Blue Ribbon when the eagle has landed. It's just a rock that goes and flies in front of a big burning thing. Oh, I know they just happen to look the exact same size. But didn't you know? Andy, don't you know that, Andy? Everybody's innocent in here. Didn't you know? One is 400 times bigger than the other, and one's 400 times closer. So from your perspective, they look the same size. Oh, I see. Is that what it is? But if that was the case, per all the bits of matter that were spit out of the Big Bang, as Stephen Hawking describes it to us, per trajectory, telemetry, gravity, the chances of this object combining with this object, it's 1 in trillions that would be able to happen. Not 1 in 10, 1 in trillions. Let's just be conservative, 1 in a trillion. That's conservative. That the moon just happens to fit exactly over the sun, like 2 milled quarters, and one being like a big rock and one being a burning thing. Okay, I don't buy 1 in trillions. We've been over this, but this is the most fun exercise in the world. I don't buy 1 in a trillion. Do you? The people that turn on David Muir, the plastic man who just oiled up his hair again, they buy it. 1 in a trillion. But they wouldn't buy my favorite example. I'm going to do it again. They get off the damn PATH train in Schenectady or Hoboken or whatever. They get off the PATH train, and some guys there with a shell game were saying, bet me I can't make this quarter flip 5 times in a row, 10 times in a row, heads 10 times in a row. Nobody would take that bet. Be like, you a shyster. I'm not giving you my money. You're going to do your 3-card money? Bet me. But see, the chances of him flipping 10 heads in a row are billions of times more likely than the eclipse. So the guy that was on that train from New York City got off the exit, saw the shyster there doing his 3-card Monte, doing his shell game, doing his bet me I can't flip this coin 10 times in a row and get your choice. If you pick 10 heads, I'll do 10 heads. If you pick 10 tails, I'll do 10 tails. Oh, he just walked right by it, all proud of himself. I'm not going to fall for that. He goes, honey, I'm home. Oh, what happened today at work, honey? Oh, well, nothing much at work, honey, but there was this guy at the train stop who was he was taking everybody for a ride, taking everybody's money. I didn't fall for it. I walked right by. Oh, honey, you're so smart. I know why I married you. Oh, but you know what, honey? The Great American Eclipse is on TV. Oh, let's sit down and watch that. Let's sit down and watch what Plastic Man David Muir and Skeleton Man Scott Pelley, they'll probably recycle Skeletor back for the 2024 eclipse. They're going to tell us that's what's happening on TV per what the eclipse is. They're going to tell us that it's a 1 in a trillion chance. We're going to believe that, but you were smart not to fall for the shyster at the PATH train stop, honey. I know why I married you. But see, you guys don't realize as you're having your TV dinner, the biggest shyster of all is on that TV. Not even the Plastic Man, not even the Skeleton Man. They represent the biggest shyster of all time. If you want to call it Satan, call it Satan. If you want to call it the Not Nilk, call it the Not Nilk. But people, when it's like the guy at the train stop, they see that, but they don't see the fraud on television. Go figure.
With one of the smaller ends, cut a piece of paper to fit on the inside wall. So this will be the screen of a little studio that we're going to build inside this shoebox. And just with some tape, affix the white sheet of paper or an index.
The year is 25,000 BC. This is the first annual or inaugural Zoom call for the original and founding members of the Not Nilk reality. That's out to fool these human beings, and keep them away from spiritual self. We are going to plan the next 40,000 years for these poor bastards. Is everybody on the call? Do we have everybody? From all over the globe, interdimensionally? Do we have Dr. Weir, everybody here? How do we have Zoom in 25,000 BC? We always had it. We're going to make it seem to these poor bastards, these human beings, we're going to make them think they invented all this shit when we just been giving it to them, like dripping it out, essentially. But that's not the point. The point is, this is the inaugural or first annual Zoom call for the original founding members of reality to fool these poor bastard human beings over the next 40,000 years. Now, does anybody have a submission? Who's the first submit? We do have a first submission. From who? From the original Windsor. Never heard of him, but hand me the submission. Yeah, okay. All right. This is from the original Windsor. I don't know what interdimensional plane they're from, but All right, hold on. What does it say here? It says, create a story called Plato's. No, Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Create a story and then artificially carry it through time, so it exists thousands of years after which it should have been long forgotten about. Then, when this original sign and wonder that we have to insert into the reality so people can kind of get a sense that the reality isn't very real, the initial and the ultimate sign and wonder, this eclipse that it's now structured and rendered, and we have seen tests of it. It will work great when we actually put it into their fake plane of existence. We're going to tie Plato's Allegory of the Cave to the observation of these human beings to the ultimate sign and wonder of their plane of existence by them acting out Plato's Allegory of the Cave, acting it out by viewing the ultimate sign and wonder through a piece of shit cardboard box that they construct with a pinhole that will actually have them acting out a story that we artificially carried through time. Incredible. Who are these Windsors? You know what? We're going to make you guys royalty of that plane of existence. How's that? How's that for a reward? I told you, if you come up with a good idea into the first inaugural and first annual Not Nilk Designing a Reality conference call, you're going to be rewarded, just as Jared has been rewarded.